History loves a good romance, a quiet candlelight beneath the roar of history. Tonight we explore 5 true love stories and pull 5 lessons from them. Secrets that feel as timeless as the stars above ancient cities. These are not fairy tales but real hearts choosing each other in moments when everything else was shouting for their attention. If you've ever believed love can soften a storm, you'll recognize yourself here. Secret 1: Love is a map, not a shelter. Cleopatra and Antony found that the right direction doesn't erase danger, it changes how you face it. They navigated a world ruled by power where any move could cost them more than a fortune. Their bond didn't erase the gulf between empire and emotion, it bridged it. They spoke in glances and shared plans that let loyalty and desire walk side by side. Their romance teaches us that a true partnership can become a compass pointing toward truth. Even when the ground shakes beneath you. When their paths crossed, they didn't retreat into the safety of separate kingdoms. They chose each other, and in that choice, they found courage to confront the storms together. If you've ever hesitated to reveal your own heart because the world seems louder than your feelings, remember Cleopatra's insistence that a united spirit can outlast even the strongest army. Secret 2: Vulnerability is power dressed as tenderness. Cleopatra whispered in the language of shadows at times. But Antony heard a mapmaker's voice in her words. Mapping not just alliances but a future where love kept its own vow. Their story hints that softness, extended toward the one you love, is a kind of strategic brilliance. It asks for bravery not in grand speeches alone, but in the daily choice to listen, to share fear, to admit longing. The more Antony leaned into Cleopatra's vision, the more he found a reason to redefine what a victory could mean. It's a reminder that vulnerability isn't weakness. It is a fierce act of faith that the bond you nurture will endure the trials you can't predict. Together, they showed that a romance can be a collaboration, a joint venture of heart and mind, where strategy and sentiment travel in the same direction. Transition SFX, Breath, 1 Secret 3. Sometimes love survives in the spaces between letters and looks. In the corridors of memory and power. Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Robert Browning built a bridge through long seasons apart that began with a letter and bloomed into a lifetime. Their secret lies in patient years of waiting, of reading one another's thoughts as clearly as if they stood in the same room. It wasn't merely the spark of passion but the patient, daily cultivation of trust through verse, through careful correspondence, through a shared hunger for beauty in language. Their romance teaches that true intimacy grows when lovers become gardeners of each other's souls, tending the soil of trust and curiosity until the roots intertwine. Secret 4: Distance is not an enemy when imagination keeps you close. Elizabeth and Robert carried each other's voices across miles and time with exquisite care. They hiddenly traveled through the mind's eye, composing lines that would outlive quarrels and seasons of doubt. The secret here is to turn absence into a quiet invitation, an invitation to share more, to reveal more, to dream together even when you're apart. When you feel the ache of longing, imagine the next conversation, the next kiss, the next shared sunset of a future you are working toward with patient hands. After a season of waiting, the door to their future finally opened. And the poetry they wrote in solitude became the chorus of a shared life. Transition SFX, soft_wind, 1 Secret 5, a love story can redefine who you become. Napoleon and Josephine carry a tumultuous history, a dramatic arc full of grand moves and human frailties. Their secret is not in conquest but in the way love can tilt the axis of a life toward a more generous, imperfect humanity. Josephine's warmth softened Napoleon's iron will. Napoleon's ambition gave purpose to her own longing to belong. Their relationship faced betrayal, distance, and a world at war. Yet its heart endured because they learned to forgive, to give space, to return with renewed devotion. The romance here is less a fairy tale and more a manual for resilience, love isn't a surrender. It's a negotiation that honors one another's humanity as much as the plans you share. Secret 6, a subtle extension of the third act. The everyday acts of care become the spine of the story. Josephine's notes, Napoleon's quick letters, small courtesies that became lifelines through tumult. If you want a practical version of romance, look to them. Tenderness that travels through time. Happening in ordinary moments, an embrace after a defeat, a letter kept safe for years. A whispered compliment that rereads itself in a moment of doubt. Transition SFX, soft_breeze, one from the air. The next chapters remind us romance isn't only about grand gestures but about choosing to stay, to listen, to grow together. Secret 7, the daily. Victoria and Albert show a love story built on shared mission as much as shared meals. They made home a place that could hold not just the crown, but the heartbeat of private life. Their relationship wasn't about perfect harmony. It was about faithful consistency, small, steady acts of partnership that kept the bond intact through the long labor of nation building. That is the quiet backbone of romance. Showing up for each other when the world asks for your attention elsewhere. Their example invites us to craft rituals that honor partnership: morning tea as a tiny ceremony, a walk after dinner, a note tucked into a coat sleeve to remind the other they are seen. Secret 8, resilience often wears a smile. Albert's devotion to Victoria endured the strain of public life, of duties that could crowd out tenderness. Yet love found doors in the space between the duties, teaching that resilience isn't cold endurance but a warm, pragmatic care that refuses to let anger or frustration erase a future together. The secret lies in turning challenges into shared purpose. In learning to say yes to both the bigger plan and the smaller moment that makes your partner feel known. Transition SFX, heartbeat, 1 Secret 9, love can be a language you learn together. Rumi and Shams of Tabriz illuminate a different kind of romance. A dialogue between teacher and student and friend and believer. Their bond wasn't simply about romance. It was a surge of curiosity that made them speak the same language of wonder. They teach us that love grows when curiosity leads. When two souls exchange metaphors and meanings until their voices fuse in a single, luminous chorus. The secret here is surrender, the willingness to be changed by the beloved. To allow your own world to expand because another's truth feels true to you as well. Secret 10, the ending you hope for is the ending you create. The story of Victoria and Albert, of Cleopatra and Antony, of Elizabeth and Robert, and of Napoleon and Josephine is not a neat bow but a continuous thread you braid with every choice you make. The last secret repeats the first: love is a path, not a destination. It asks you to bring tenderness into your days, courage into your rooms, and imagination into your conversations. It asks you to walk forward together, even when the road curves away from what you expected. Because the heart you carry is not just yours. It belongs to the life you are building with another. If you felt the ache of routine or the ache of heartbreak, listen again to these stories. They remind us that love, in its most enduring form, isn't about a flawless plot but about two people showing up again and again, ready to learn, forgive, and grow. Outro transition SFX, closing_bell, May 2nd. You carry these 5 secrets into your own days, that love can be a map. That vulnerability is strength. That distance can be a bridge. That daily rituals anchor intimacy. And that resilience and imagination keep romance alive. History isn't just a record of what happened. It's a living invitation to believe in the power of love here and now. So let these memories settle in you. A gentle current you can draw on when the day grows loud or the heart grows weary. If a crown and a quarrel could bend toward mercy, surely your ordinary moments hold the power to become something extraordinary. Tonight, carry a small question in your pocket. What tiny act of care can I offer tomorrow to show you are seen, that love is possible, here and now? May these memories settle in you. A soft current guiding you toward gentleness and daily acts that heal, one heartbeat at a time.